You step outside to enjoy your garden and there it is. A snake, slithering through the flower beds, disappearing under the porch. For millions of homeowners, that moment turns a relaxing afternoon into pure anxiety. But what if your garden itself could quietly discourage snakes from showing up in the first place? Today, we're counting down 15 of the most popular and beautiful flowers and plants that gardeners around the world swear by as natural snake deterrents. These aren't chemical sprays or traps, they're living plants, plants with stunning blooms, rich fragrances, and qualities that snakes simply don't enjoy being around. We're going from number 15 all the way down to number 1, the plant most consistently mentioned as the top natural snake repellent. Let's get into it. Number 15 is chrysanthemums. If you've ever walked through a garden in autumn and noticed those full, rounded blooms in shades of yellow, white, burgundy, and rust, chances are you've already met this remarkable plant. Chrysanthemums typically grow between 1 and 3 feet tall, and they bloom in late summer through fall, giving your garden rich color exactly when most other flowers are fading. So why do gardeners believe chrysanthemums help deter snakes? The key lies in pyrethrin, a naturally occurring compound found in chrysanthemum flowers. Pyrethrin is actually used as an active ingredient in many commercial insect repellents. And it's believed that the strong chemical presence of this compound is something snakes find unpleasant. Snakes rely heavily on their senses, particularly scent, to navigate their environment. A plant that produces powerful chemical signals they associate with danger or discomfort is one they tend to avoid. From a gardening standpoint, chrysanthemums are a dream. They're relatively easy to grow. They thrive in well-drained soil with full sun, and they come back reliably year after year in many climates. They also attract butterflies and bees during their bloom period. Plant them along borders, near doorways, or around the perimeter of your garden for the best effect. Number 14 is geraniums, especially the scented varieties. Geraniums are among the most popular garden and patio plants in the world, and for good reason. Their blooms come in vivid shades of red, pink, salmon, white, and lavender, and they tend to flower almost continuously through spring and summer. Most varieties stay compact, around 1 to 2 feet, making them perfect for containers, window boxes, and borders. Now, not all geraniums are created equal when it comes to snake deterrence. It's the scented leaf geraniums that gardeners most often recommend. Varieties like rose geranium, lemon geranium, and peppermint geranium produce leaves loaded with aromatic oils. When you brush against the leaves, or even when warm sunlight hits them, they release a strong, complex scent that's pleasant to humans but reportedly off-putting to snakes. Snakes don't have external ears, they sense vibration and use their forked tongues to taste the air around them. Strong aromatic oils essentially overwhelm and confuse that sensory system, and snakes respond by moving away from the source. Growing tip: scented geraniums do best in full sun with moderate watering, don't overwater. They like to dry out a little between drinks. They're also easy to propagate from cuttings, so one plant can quickly become many. Number 13 is rue, also known by its botanical name Ruta graveolens, is an ancient herb with a fascinating reputation. It's been used for centuries in folk medicine, in cooking, and as a protective plant in traditional gardens. Its small, blue-green leaves have a distinctive fern-like texture, and in summer it produces clusters of small, bright yellow flowers. It typically grows 2 to 3 feet tall and has a compact, bushy form. The reason rue appears on nearly every list of natural snake repellent plants is its scent. Rue has an intense, bitter, almost medicinal aroma that many animals, including snakes, find deeply unappealing. The smell is present in the leaves, the stems, and the flowers, when planted in clusters around garden edges or entry points. It creates a zone of scent that snakes reportedly prefer to avoid. One important note for gardeners: rue's sap can cause skin irritation in some people, particularly in direct sunlight. So wear gloves when handling it. Beyond that, it's a hardy, drought-tolerant plant that asks very little of you. It grows well in poor soil, loves full sun, and once established, it practically takes care of itself. It also attracts certain beneficial insects and looks beautiful as a border plant with its silvery blue foliage. Number 12 is mugwort, also known as artemisia. Mugwort is a striking plant with deeply cut silvery gray leaves that have a soft, almost feathery appearance. Depending on the variety, it can grow anywhere from 2 to 6 feet tall, creating a dramatic presence in the garden. It belongs to the same plant family as wormwood, which we'll talk about shortly, and shares many of its most useful properties. Gardeners have long planted mugwort as a perimeter plant, placing it along fences, garden edges, and pathways, based on the belief that its strong, bitter scent acts as a natural deterrent to unwanted visitors. Snakes, which rely on chemical signals to navigate and assess their environment, reportedly find the volatile compounds in mugwort's leaves disorienting and unpleasant. The plant releases these compounds most strongly when disturbed or when leaves are crushed underfoot. Mugwort is also notable for its deep, spreading root system. Some gardeners believe the scent from the roots alone is enough to discourage ground-dwelling creatures from moving through treated areas. From a growing standpoint, mugwort is extremely hardy. It tolerates poor soil, drought, and neglect. It spreads fairly aggressively, so consider planting it in a contained area or in raised beds if you don't want it taking over. But as a tough, low-maintenance border plant with genuine deterrent potential, it's hard to beat. Its silvery foliage also makes a stunning contrast with darker flowering plants nearby. Number 11, daffodils. Few plants announce spring more joyfully than daffodils. Their bright yellow and sometimes white, orange, or bicolor, trumpet-shaped blooms emerge on tall, slender stems, typically ranging from 6 inches to 2 feet depending on the variety. They bloom in early to mid-spring. Often when the garden is still waking up from winter, daffodils earn a spot on this list for a very specific reason. They contain a compound called lycorine. Lycorine is a naturally occurring alkaloid that is toxic to many animals, including most mammals, and is believed to be similarly repellent to snakes. The compound is concentrated in the bulbs but present throughout the plant. Animals that have learned to associate the smell of daffodils with this toxic compound tend to avoid them. And snakes are believed to sense and respond to this chemical signature as well. Daffodil bulbs also have an added advantage. They're one of the few spring bulbs that squirrels and other burrowing animals won't touch, again because of lycorine. That same quality is thought to extend to ground-level deterrence of snakes. Growing tips: plant daffodil bulbs in fall in well-drained soil in full to partial sun. They naturalize beautifully, spreading on their own over time, which means your snake-deterring barrier grows stronger every season. And once established, they require almost no care at all. Number 10 is ornamental alliums. If you've ever seen a large, perfectly round purple globe floating on a tall, slender stem in a summer garden, that was an ornamental allium. These plants are relatives of onions and garlic, and they carry the same powerful chemical family in their tissues. Their blooms are spectacular, spherical clusters of tiny star-shaped flowers in deep purple, violet, or white, sitting atop stems that can reach 2 to 4 feet in height. The snake-deterring quality of ornamental alliums comes from the same source as their culinary cousins, sulfur compounds. These compounds, including allicin, are released from the plant's tissues, particularly when leaves or stems are disturbed. Snakes, with their extraordinarily sensitive chemoreception, find sulfur-based compounds overwhelming. The smell essentially sends a warning signal through their sensory system, encouraging them to move elsewhere. What makes ornamental alliums a particularly smart choice is that they deliver serious visual impact while doing the work quietly in the background. They're showstoppers in the garden, attracting admiring glances from visitors and admiring attention from pollinators like bees and butterflies. Plant the bulbs in autumn in full sun, and they'll reward you with a stunning early summer display year after year. Number 9 is rosemary. Rosemary is one of the great multi-purpose plants of the garden. As a culinary herb, it's irreplaceable in the kitchen. As an ornamental plant, its dense, needle-like silvery green leaves and delicate blue or purple flowers give it a refined, Mediterranean elegance. It typically grows 2 to 4 feet tall or taller in warm climates, and can be shaped into low hedges or left to grow freely as a fragrant shrub. The reason rosemary earns a place on this list is its intensely aromatic essential oil. Rosemary contains powerful compounds including camphor, 1,8-cineol, and alpha-pinene, all of which produce that sharp, resinous scent we associate with the herb. To human noses, it's wonderful. To snakes, whose chemical sensing system is calibrated for very different signals, this kind of overwhelming aromatic intensity is believed to be aversive. Gardeners recommend planting rosemary densely along pathways, borders, and around the foundations of homes and outbuildings. The plant releases its scent continuously, and especially strongly on warm, sunny days, creating an ongoing olfactory barrier. Rosemary loves full sun and well-drained soil. It's drought-tolerant once established, making it ideal for low-water gardens. It's also one of the best plants you can grow for attracting bees and other pollinators. A plant that feeds your kitchen, beautifies your garden, and quietly works to keep snakes away, that's a remarkable combination. Number 8 is wormwood. Artemisia absinthium is one of the most recognizable plants in the natural deterrent world. Its deeply lobed, silvery white leaves have a ghostly, almost luminous quality in the garden. And it grows in a graceful, arching habit that reaches 2 to 4 feet tall. It's a dramatic plant, beautiful in a quiet, understated way. The active compound in wormwood is absinthin, a powerfully bitter chemical that gives the plant its name and its legendary reputation. Wormwood has been used for centuries as a natural pest deterrent, placed near storage areas, gardens, and entryways to keep insects and animals away. Snakes, responding to their environment primarily through chemical senses, are believed to find the volatile compounds wormwood produces deeply unappealing. Unlike many fragrant plants that only release scent when touched, wormwood broadcasts its aroma passively. Especially on warm days or when a breeze moves through the leaves, that makes it a particularly effective continuous barrier plant. Growing tip: wormwood is extremely low maintenance. It thrives in poor, dry soil with full sun and almost no supplemental watering. It can spread aggressively in ideal conditions, so keep an eye on it. But planted along fence lines or as a border perimeter, it's one of the hardiest and most effortless deterrent plants you can grow. Its silvery foliage also makes a stunning contrast with darker flowering plants nearby. Number 7 is society garlic. Also known as Tulbaghia violacea, is a plant that deserves far more attention than it typically gets. It produces delicate clusters of lavender pink, star-shaped flowers on slender stems above clumps of narrow, strap-like leaves. It blooms repeatedly from late spring through fall, and in warmer climates it flowers nearly year-round. It's a graceful, ornamental plant and a surprisingly effective snake deterrent. The name, society garlic, comes from the fact that it carries the scent and chemistry of garlic without leaving the smell on your breath after eating, making it more acceptable in polite society. But when it comes to snakes, that garlic chemistry is exactly the point. Society garlic contains the same sulfur-based allicin compounds found in regular garlic, compounds that snakes strongly dislike. The scent is released from the leaves, roots, and flowers continuously, creating a persistent aromatic presence in the garden. Gardeners in warmer climates particularly love society garlic because it thrives in heat and full sun, tolerates some drought, and multiplies steadily to fill in an area over time. It's low-growing, typically 1 to 2 feet, which makes it ideal as a border plant along pathways or massed in front of taller plants. It attracts butterflies and is generally ignored by deer, which is an added bonus for many gardeners. Number 6 is onions and chives. Don't overlook the humble members of the allium family growing right in your vegetable garden. Chives, in particular, are a favorite of gardeners looking for a low-effort, high-impact snake deterrent that also pulls its weight in the kitchen. Chives form dense clumps of hollow, grass-like leaves topped with round, pink-purple pompon flowers in late spring and early summer. They're charming edible, and based on widespread gardener experience, quite effective at discouraging snakes. Both onions and chives release sulfur compounds from their leaves, roots, and flowers. These compounds, the same chemistry responsible for the sting in your eyes when chopping onions, are extremely potent to snakes. Snakes use their Jacobson's organ to detect and analyze chemical compounds in their environment. Strong sulfur-based signals are believed to register as threatening or simply deeply unpleasant, causing snakes to reroute away from the area. One of the best strategies gardeners use is planting chives densely around the perimeter of vegetable gardens. Uses of compost bins and wood piles, areas that naturally attract the mice and frogs that snakes follow. By creating a scent barrier around those attractants, you disrupt the chain before snakes arrive. Chives are among the easiest plants in existence to grow. They thrive in almost any soil in full to partial sun, and they self-seed freely. Once you plant them, they'll take care of themselves for years. Number 5 is citronella. Most people know citronella as the plant behind mosquito-repelling candles. And yes, the plant behind that familiar lemony fragrance is the same one we're talking about now. True Citronella Cymbopogon nardus is a tall, clumping grass that can reach 5 to 6 feet under ideal conditions. With long, arching blue-green leaves that release a powerful citrus-like scent when touched or brushed. The essential oils in citronella, most notably citronellal and geraniol, are extraordinarily potent aromatic compounds. They've been shown to repel mosquitoes reliably, and based on extensive gardener testimony, they appear to have a similarly deterring effect on snakes. Snakes navigating through a garden filled with citronella encounter a scent so overwhelming and foreign to their natural environment that they tend to turn around. Citronella is also a beautiful architectural plant. Its tall, fountain-like clumps create dramatic structure in a garden bed. And the scent it releases on warm evenings makes sitting in the garden even more pleasant for you, at least. It loves heat and full sun. In tropical and subtropical climates it's perennial. In cooler regions, grow it as an annual or in containers that can be brought inside in winter. For maximum effect, plant citronella along garden borders near seating areas and around known snake entry points. It works best when its leaves are lightly disturbed by wind or passage. Number 4 is garlic. We've mentioned garlic chemistry several times now in alliums in Society Garlic in chives. But true garlic, Allium sativum, deserves its own entry. Garlic consistently ranks among the most recommended snake repellent plants by gardeners, herbalists, and natural pest control experts alike. Garlic grows from individual cloves planted in autumn, sending up flat, strappy green leaves through winter and spring before producing its papery bulbs underground. It also produces flowering stalks called scapes that curl gracefully before eventually opening into small, globular flower heads. The chemistry that makes garlic so powerful as a deterrent is allicin, the same compound responsible for garlic's intense culinary flavor and its long history as a medicinal plant. When garlic cloves or leaves are damaged or disturbed, they release allicin immediately and powerfully. The smell is sharp, sulfurous, and penetrating. To snakes, this chemical is believed to act as a strong repellent, possibly even mimicking the scent of predators or threatening environmental conditions. Gardeners often crush a few cloves and scatter them around snake-prone areas for immediate effect, while growing garlic plants as a longer-term perimeter strategy. Growing tip: plant garlic cloves in fall, pointy end-up in rich, well-drained soil with full sun. Harvest in midsummer when the lower leaves begin to yellow. In the meantime, the growing plants quietly discourage snakes from setting up shop nearby, and the harvest feeds you as a bonus. Number 3 is lemongrass. We're in the top 3 now, and each of these final plants has earned its position through consistent, widespread recommendation across the gardening world. Lemongrass, Cymbopogon citratus, is a tropical grass that forms large, dense clumps of long, strap-like leaves with sharp edges. It grows fast, sometimes reaching 3 to 5 feet in a single season, and it fills space quickly and effectively. The scent it produces is bright, clean, and intensely citrus lemon, coming from high concentrations of citral, an aromatic compound in its essential oil. Lemongrass is one of the most frequently recommended plants for natural snake deterrence worldwide. And it's particularly popular in regions of Asia, Africa, and South America where snakes are common. The belief is that the sharp, clean lemon scent, combined with the physical barrier created by its dense, razor-edged clumps, creates both a scent deterrent and a physical one. Snakes don't enjoy navigating through the sharp-edged leaves, and they don't enjoy the overwhelming chemical signature the plant broadcasts. In the kitchen, lemongrass is essential in many Southeast Asian cuisines. Adding bright citrus flavor to soups, curries, and teas. In the garden, it loves heat, humidity, and full sun. In warm climates, it's a perennial. In cooler zones, grow it in large containers and bring it inside before frost. Its rapid growth and spreading habit mean one or two plants can quickly create a meaningful perimeter around a garden bed or entrance point. Number 2 is lavender. It may surprise you to find lavender so high on this list. After all, lavender is one of the world's most beloved garden plants, celebrated for its soft purple spires. Its calming fragrance and its ability to attract pollinators by the thousands, it doesn't seem like a threatening plant at all. And yet, gardeners consistently rank lavender as one of the most effective natural snake deterrents available. Here, why? Lavender, particularly English lavender, Lavandula angustifolia, contains linalool and linaloyl acetate in high concentrations. These compounds are responsible for lavender's signature floral herbal scent. To human sensory systems, that scent is deeply relaxing. To snakes whose chemoreception is tuned entirely differently, the same compounds appear to be highly aversive. Lavender releases these oils passively and continuously. On warm, sunny days, the air around a lavender planting is saturated with them. Lavender also has the advantage of being visually stunning, incredibly fragrant for people and pollinators, and deeply practical. Dried lavender can be bundled and placed inside doorways, along windowsills, and in garage entryways as a complementary indoor deterrent. Growing tips, lavender demands full sun and excellent drainage above all else. It struggles in wet or clay soils but thrives in sandy or rocky conditions, planted along borders. Around patios and near home foundations, once established, it's drought-tolerant and long-lived. Few plants deliver so much beauty, fragrance, pollinator support, and now, snake deterrence for so little effort. And finally, number 1. The plant that appears on virtually every natural snake repellent list. The one consistently recommended by gardeners across every continent, marigolds. Marigolds, particularly the French marigold, Tagetes patula, and the African marigold, Tagetes erecta, are familiar to almost every gardener. Their blooms are bold and cheerful, golden yellow, deep orange, burnt sienna, mahogany red. Sometimes in single shades, sometimes in rich bicolor combinations. French marigolds stay compact, 6 to 12 inches tall. While African varieties can reach 2 to 3 feet, they bloom continuously from late spring until the first hard frost, providing color for months on end. So what makes marigolds number 1? Several things actually. First, the scent. Marigolds produce a strong, distinctive aroma from their foliage. A scent many people find either pleasantly spicy or slightly sharp. The compound responsible is in the leaves and stems, not just the flowers, and it's released continuously. Snakes are believed to strongly dislike this scent, and gardeners have planted marigolds as snake barriers for generations. Second, the roots. Marigold roots, particularly those of the French marigold, release thiophene, sulfur-containing compounds directly into the surrounding soil. These root chemicals are so potent that marigolds are commonly used in agriculture to suppress nematodes and soil pests. It's widely believed by gardeners that this underground chemical activity contributes to their effectiveness as snake deterrents as well. Not just at the surface level, but in the soil layer where snakes travel. Third, marigolds are simply extraordinary companion plants. They deter aphids, whiteflies, and other garden pests while attracting bees and butterflies. They're among the easiest annuals to grow from seed. Plant them in full sun in any reasonable soil, water moderately. And they will bloom profusely with almost no care at all. They're inexpensive, widely available, and can be planted densely enough to create a true perimeter barrier around any garden space. Plant marigolds along every border, every pathway edge, and every foundation you want to protect. Plant them thick, they grow fast and fill in quickly, and let them do their quiet work season after season. Marigolds, number 1, so there you have it. 15 beautiful, practical plants from chrysanthemums at number 15 all the way down to marigolds at number 1. That gardeners around the world rely on as natural, fragrant barriers against unwanted snake visitors. A few final thoughts. No plant is a guaranteed solution. Results will vary depending on the species of snake in your region, the size of your property, and how you combine these plants with other good habits. Keeping your lawn trimmed, removing woodpiles and debris where snakes shelter, and sealing gaps in foundations. But used thoughtfully, planted densely along borders, near entryways, and around areas where snakes tend to appear. These 15 plants give you a beautiful, natural, chemical-free first line of defense. Plant one or more of these this season and enjoy a more peaceful, fragrant, and colorful garden. Which one will you try first? Let me know in the comments below. I read every one.